All right. The song's over, so that means we got a one. Camera's way close. And we got a two.
Dos.
And so we got a all right.
All right. Yeah, my camera's not invading my personal space.
Yeah, so we didn't really check the cameras before we hit go today because we are welcome back to another Truthercast, home of the Truthercast. We are here to take your truth order. And, thank you so very much for showing on up here, especially the tried, true, and trusties that show up here every week to say hello, to hang out in the alternate news space that is the Rumble. If you're finding us on X, that's a good one too, right? But if you see us on YouTube, why don't you just come on over to Rumble or X, join us on the, growing truth platforms that aren't going to be, censoring things that, wouldn't be told to you by the mainstream media and all of that jazz. If you're new to the show, thanks for popping in. Definitely hang out. We keep things pretty, like go. We don't really kind of drum on to like a one news piece for too long. We don't kind of talking in circles and shit. We just kind of getting to the point usually.
There's a lot of things to always cover,
Yeah, there might be a few rants or rambles once in a while, but
yeah.
We keep it going.
Yeah, we keep sorting through the material.
Absolutely. So, if you're not familiar with the show, we are attempting not to be just two more dudes complaining on the internet. We've got a shtick, and that shtick here is to build a better news feed. So definitely hang out with us, and we are going to try and highlight some of these, informational tidbits in these independent journalists, the citizen journalists, the alternate news media that is now growing, and becoming the new place to be, like the legacy media finally dying out, the whole Trump election win, blah, blah, blah. And Elon said that, X is the media now.
It's not too hard when they shooting themselves in the foot constantly.
Amen, brother. And then we started getting more stories that just completely verify that things like USAID are a total waste, and now they're officially closing them down before July 1st, I hear.
Oh, really? That soon, huh? Oh. Wah, wah.
Wah, wah. So we're going to show you the locals community here in just a sec. That's where we're going to tear through, some of the things that we thought that were interesting last week, kind of do a weekly roundup here for you. But if you're not familiar, you can get to the locals community. If you keep coming back here and you haven't joined the locals community, you totally should. You get there by clicking on the link in the description box down below, the locals.mastash.com. Just click on that guy. It's free to join and to peruse the information. I like to, pitch it as kind of like an uncensored Google feed. So it's really nice and easy to pull up when you need like one of those informational tidbits and you're, talking to a friend or maybe in a debate with somebody or something. But if you need to pull up like, something that you heard about last week that's a little bit more alt news and difficult to pull up on the old magical Google machine that's kind of getting less magical nowadays.
Yeah.
Pulling up the locals is really nice. You can pull that up, go to the search box, and generally probably going to be able to find a receipt for some of these crazy things that we all kind of hear about a little more and more nowadays. Everybody's kind of getting in, right?
Yeah. Slowly every day, another soul wanders in.
Heck yeah.
Especially
if you make sure to do the free thing that really helps us out around here.
No hoeing. Share that showing. It doesn't really make sense, but it's catchy, kind of. Got to try to mix it up every once in a while.
It's more funny when it slightly doesn't make sense, right?
Right, yeah. That makes the brain pick up on things. I read it in a book once,
Kind of like when I say, Welcome to the Truther Cast, home of the Truther Cast. Can we make your order or take your order? Kind of doesn't make sense, but kind of makes sense.
I think that hits home mostly for us '90s babies.
I know, right?
What is it? Whataburger? What? No, not Whataburger. That's the restaurant.
Welcome to Good Burger, home
Good
of the Good Burger.
Good Burger. That's what it is.
Order.
I just had 2 burgers before this. My brain's processing those right now, so it's a wee bit catching up.
And it might be what the left would call a dog whistle, to the 90s, thousands babies that remember the good old all of that and whatnot. Where's my good mouse? So it's a welcome in, like, hey, we're like, target demographic right now. So, another 10, 20 years and we'll be the old fogies.
I mean,
the young old.
Yeah, already knocking on that door, man. You're a tech guy when it's like, where's my good mouse? This is my other mouse. Let me grab my mouse over here. I got this one. I name mouse 1, thing 1, thing 2. Except they're mice.
Right. So like many people go like, wait, what? There's a good mouse?
Yeah, like
I just thought it was mouse.
I just have a mouse. Yeah. Like what? What does he have 2 for?
Nah, man, you got to get one of these Logitech S2, S3s, bro. Man, they're the business. That's the way to.
When you lift it up off the table, it kind of looks like a spaceship, even.
Yeah, right. Like that's how you know it's gonna fit your hand right, bro. It doesn't look like this weird like. Doesn't look like a spaceship. That's lame.
It looks like a depressed flat mouse. That other mouse is much livelier.
The other way you could help us out, keep the lights on, though, if you got $1 to spend and a computer to protect, you could hit that signup.toleratetech.com. And if you already are a friend of the show of ours, if you are familiar with us, and maybe you've gotten some work done from me in the past or I've helped you out with some tech stuff, make sure to go leave me a review on Google because it finally happened, Dan. The I told you so happened.
We knew it was only a matter of time.
Only a matter of time. The friends and family warned me, but somebody found out that I do the show, and I think they might have TDS, maybe a little bit of EDS even now too, man. But
yeah, no, it's amazing.
It was like 8 months later after I fixed their thing, and they were like, "Ramble. He's busy with the podcast, and he's like his idols, Trump and Elon, and he's just all talk, no doing."
Yeah. What you don't see is the multiple hours that he is here before the podcast and after the podcast, and has like half a day off a week where he's not in here shilling on projects. So,
right, man. And then like the other bummer thing is like literally the thing that he wanted me to do, like nobody else in town would do, and that's why he brought it to me. And I was like, oh, man, I really don't have any idea how to fix this thing, and he was like, no, like they said, just like replace these capacitors. So I just need you to solder these all on. And I said, cool, man, I'll be your solder monkey. No problem. But like, I don't know nothing about this. And he was like, and he didn't even fix it.
I mean, I would.
He was like, and it still didn't work after he did it.
It sounds like the psychology is one of that kind of goes with the TDS population a little bit.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
There's a pattern there.
I thought we had an understanding, bro. I told you, like, hey, dude, this Sony Laserdisc from like 1983 was out before I was living. But I get it. You want to like play your video games on it, so that's kind of cool, bro. So like, hell yeah, I'll replace all the capacitors. So then I get in there. I told him it'd be like a couple months, right? I was like, it's gonna be a back burner thing, maybe like a month or 2 or something. He's like, yeah, no problem.
I gotta do research on this.
So I get in there, bro, and all the caps are leaked out everywhere. So like it was like cleaning off all the shit before I could put the new one on. So I'd blow like an hour or 2 on it, and I'd go like, "Oh, dude, I gotta go do something that like pays me money." Because I told him I was gonna do this for $100, and I was like, "Oh, I'm an idiot. I should just tell him to like go kick rocks." But I'm the idiot.
That's
so
what
I said,
we
"Oh,
do.
I'm gonna do it for you."
We try to be the helpful friendlies.
I think that's just the packaging falling off over there.
More than likely.
Hillary,
not getting swatted yet.
Hillary.
Did they finally call in the SWAT? No, they'd be a lot louder than that.
Yeah, that calmed down. That was
it's the ghost of Hillary. That's what happens when you talk about somebody so much, especially like Hillary. Oh wait, maybe there's a remote viewer out there.
Beetlejuice or what's the one you say in the mirror? Yeah, the remote viewing. The remote viewing thing was hot this week. People were talking about that.
Yeah, because the Ark of the Covenant,
Yeah, but why did it come up in the news? I couldn't figure this out. It's from the 80s, and us tinfoil hatters have been talking about this shit for like multiple years already.
Well, I mean, that's how it's been for everything, though. You know, for us that have been conspiracy buffs for a while.
For the awakened.
People coming out like, oh my God, did you hear about like, oh yeah, dude, like I'm excited all of a sudden just now too. I haven't been about this for like 5, 10, 15 years.
And then I try not to be a jerk and do the like, bad parent thing. Like, yeah, I already knew that.
Yeah, right.
Shut up. I'm going to take the fun out of it for you,
right.
like.
Yeah. How many people realize the excitement is manufactured versus genuine? Only they can tell if they are scholars of body language.
Well, what's tricky is just getting like older / wiser, because like now when people bring it up, I'm like, oh really? Wow. Tell me about that, because it's fun. People want to tell you the thing,
right?
And then also,
that is the good go-to for that,
right? And
oh yeah, dude, what really?
Yeah, I think I was telling you about that 5 years ago. What's the new update? Oh, there's nothing new?
The subtle slap.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I was telling you about
I'm a little bit smart ass.
Yeah, you know.
I have been known to be slightly smart ass like that.
Yeah. Hello, fellow tard troll.
Oh, Trolley made it in. What's up, Trolley?
Back in.
I mean,
you can swat the flies that are
yeah, you should definitely swat the flies, because I'm pretty sure if you did that, you would probably go to jail, because it's like a felony now.
I mean, yeah, more than likely. Yeah, I probably wouldn't do that, Trolley.
It's attempted murder.
Yeah. Yep. Sure is, especially if they we know how they be a little trigger happy on the other end of that stick. So definitely. Oh man,
what's sad is it'd probably be better than his living situation right now.
Hey. Well, all right.
Oh man, I was wondering if this was going to come up tonight. I found out that when you call somebody the P word, it's not how you spelled it. Or no, it is how he spelled it. No, it's not how he spelled it. Yeah, so you're not calling people a vagina. You're actually calling them a short for the full word. Did you know this, Trolley? Check this out. Check this out.
Yeah, here we'll bring you some awareness and realization. I like how the last search was bread and butter.
Oh yeah, it was this song. It was like a real chill like song on the like music thing in my lobby, and I was like, oh, I want to listen to that song.
I had a great roll with some butter with a Culver's. They got walleye, the Northern Woods walleye back, and it is delicious. They give you a little dinner roll if you get the dinner platter.
Where's the full
and they
word,
always slap. Come to the Truther Cast. Listen to us talk about food.
I hope no one's hungry. Okay, here it is.
All night long. Being a skinny guy, I
Pusillanimous. Pusillanimous. Yeah. The pusillanimous.
Yeah, which is just a exuberant word for coward.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. But like the other P word means vagina.
And when I was younger, I always thought it was just the just like there's dang and then there's damn. I always thought it was like the damn version of pansy. Bro. That's kind of how I thought it was. And then I found that out.
No, just coincidence. Pussy, in the sense of coward, comes from pussy, meaning vagina, vulva, which itself from the meaning cat, though some do not accept that pussy cat and pussy snatch are related. The development from vulva to coward is via the use of pussy to denote effeminate males. Effeminate males. At least as early as the 20s. The semantic development, female organ greater than female like, is not at all unexpected. Thank you, autistic Redditor.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Way to
The
break that
great
down.
world of Reddit.
Way to break that down.
I wonder who, I wonder.
Bro, I'm definitely trying to bust
Who
this
made
out.
Reddit? Who created Reddit?
Oh, I don't know, but it went full work.
My suspicion is of the Jewish variety, just like all the other places where it ends up being a cesspool. Yeah, we're not quite old enough to be Googling. We are doing the grokking nowadays, thanks to Grok.
Reddit is co-founded by Steve Huffman, Alexis Ohanian, and Aaron Swartz in 2005. As for your second question, there's no evidence or credible information to suggest that any of the individuals are part of the, quote, deep state, or their religious or ethnic backgrounds are relevant to Reddit's creation. I didn't ask if it was relevant. Just curious.
May the Schwartz be with you.
Two main co-founders still associated with Aaron Swartz, of course, the third co-founder, was Jewish by heritage, though he is no more known for his activism and tech contributions than anything else. All I know is it went full woke, bro. And then Google happened to do an update where, like, the top thing they show you is Reddit.
I mean, Reddit is the place where all the people are congregating to plan how to firebomb Tesla dealerships and whatnot.
Bro, are you like double fisting phones with two different accounts?
I was going to say, do you have both playing audio, or is one muted and you just type off both?
Cacophony of truth.
Yeah. Do you have an iPad and a phone? Oh, wait. Oh, it's probably some other tablet. I don't think you're that classy.
Wait, but I still want to get back to, like, I want to bust this out in my vernacular now, man. I want to be like, oh, you're being so pusillanimous here.
And they're gonna,
Jiminy crickets.
They're going to go, what does that mean? It means being a pussy. And they'll be like,
but what does that mean?
What?
That's like when you go to the dictionary and it uses the word in the definition. All right, anyway.
Yeah, right. Hey, let's get to some actual meat and potatoes here.
You are tuning in and you're not a troll. Make sure that you're logged into the Rumble app so you can thumbs up it.
Yeah.
You can also join in the live chat with us and tell us what you think about the shit we're saying, or maybe tell us about something that you found interesting from last week. Yeah, last week was a dead one again for me, bro. Like, it was not a lot of popping shit, in my humble opinion.
There was some.
Yeah, I guess here, let's just get on this one.
It's just been busy.
Let's just get on this one.
Work-wise, not news.
So this is a 5-minute video.
This
unfortunately we do need to watch. If you haven't seen this,
this is great.
This is pretty great.
This is you coming to the show for realization and awareness to watch the great John, the great Jon Stewart. For you listening, that's Jon Stewart in air quotes. The great. Come to awareness and realization himself.
Now we are going to watch the liberal mouthpiece man who used to be funny, but now is borderline not funny.
Yeah.
Come to a realization that Doge is 110% necessary.
Well, you have to talk the playbook that they give you to when your name's on that certain list.
If your name's on the list, you're going to do the things and walk of the walk.
It's weird that so many of these late night talk show hosts that talk shit about Trump happen to be on that list. Jimmy and forget his name because he's so irrelevant nowadays. Oh yes, Stephen Colbert. Steve Colbert. Steven. Steve. I don't even remember anymore because he's just that much of an uninfluential character.
So this is Jon Stewart finding out about Joe Biden's administration spending $42 billion to expand broadband to more Americans. And we're about to find out why they've connected absolutely zero homes. All right. Are you ready for this shit?
180 days. That's step one. Step two.
By the way, to preface this and make it worth listening to, this is the clip that you send somebody when they talk shit about Doge. You go, oh, yeah? What do you think about this?
So they're cutting funding to just things of such need, such great things these people are doing with all this money.
Red tape out, bro. This is just all red tape. This is ridiculous. All right, here, let's let them get on board here.
Which all 56 state applicants completed, is states who want to participate must submit a letter of intent. After they do that, they can submit a request for up to $5 million in planning grants. Then the NTIA, step 4, has to review and approve and award, again, planning grants, not broadband grants, planning grants.
And it's still at the NTIA. It's still at the first step.
All right, so the NTIA must issue a NOFO within 180 days. States who want to participate must submit their letter of intent. Step 3, they can request up to $5 million in planning grants.
Just planning.
Just planning. Step 4, the requests are reviewed, approved, and awarded by the NTIA, which currently all 56, 3 years later, all 56 applicants had passed through at least step 5. It took more than 3 years. So it's a long time. States must submit a 5-year action plan. So the states kind of go back and they kind of think about how they're going to do this. And they don't just say, okay, thank you for the money.
If you're watching, John's now put his hands on top of his head in a what is going on kind of fashion, right? Like,
yeah, he's already hiding for cover.
And we're only a quarter of the way in.
We're going to spend it, and you can see how it worked out later. We're like, here's our 5-year action plan. Then the FCC must publish the broadband data maps before NTIA allocates funds. So having done the NOFO, the letters of intent, the request for planning grants, then the review, approval, and awarding of the planning grants, then the 5-year action plans. In between that, the federal government has to put forward a map saying where it thinks we need rural broadband subsidies. And then, of course, the states need an opportunity to challenge the map for accuracy. And you can imagine this doesn't all happen in like a day. Okay, so then the NTIA, step 7, has to use the FCC maps to make allocation decisions. Then, having already done their letter of intent, their request for planning grants, it's hard even to talk about this, man. Step 7 is NTIA must use the FCC maps that were already challenged for allocation decisions. Then, having submitted all this, I think this one is actually quite amazing.
Yeah.
Having submitted their 5-year plans or letters of intent, step 8 is states must submit an initial proposal to the NTIA. Then,
is that the result of their $5 million planning fund? This initial
I assume,
proposal?
but then what was the 5-year plan?
And what the fuck did they apply for? What was their NOFO?
Like, if the 5-year action plan isn't the initial proposal, then what's the 5-year action
Forget
plan?
NOFO.
Okay.
MOFO.
Step 9, NTIA must review and approve each state's, again, initial proposal. By my read, we have had at least...
There was a cut there. Like, this is still like clipped down halfway through. John's got his hand on his head now. He's like becoming exhausted. If you're not exhausted, I'm pretty exhausted at this point.
2 initial proposals here, but that's a different issue.
Oh my God.
Step 10, states must publish their own map and allow internal challenges to their own map. So the government has published a map. They have invited the states to challenge the map. Then states have submitted initial proposals, and they then have to publish their own map and allow challenges.
Wait, who's challenging it within the state?
Well, organized interest groups, environmental groups, like I don't know who specifically, but literally anybody. This is,
right.
I want to say something because it's very important I say this. This is the Biden administration's process for its own bill. They wanted this to happen. This is how liberal government works now.
This is something they instituted.
This is called bureaucracy. It's like you add the layers in and the layers and like let's make sure this thing, that thing. And it's like, dude, you definitely want to do things careful and planned out and make sure everybody's on board with things or somebody's toes aren't hurt too much. But like, you got to find a better balance. This is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, this is why California has sunk billions upon billions into their homeless problem and nothing has happened.
Right.
And guess what? You pay for it, especially you Californians.
All
you
right,
are paying.
We have a few more steps here, unbelievably.
Yeah.
For this bill.
For their bill. This is a bill passed by Democrats with a regulatory structure written by Democratic administration. Okay.
Right.
Step 11. The NTIA must review and improve the challenge results and the final map. So the NTIA has put forward a map. The states have challenged that map. Then the states have put forward their maps, had other challenges. And now the NTIA must review and approve the challenges to the state maps. Okay. So we've done step 11. NTIA must review and approve challenge results and final map. We've lost 9 of the applicants at that point. Step 12. States must run a competitive sub-granting process.
Oh my fucking God.
Well, I'm sure you can imagine his face at this point if you're just listening.
Just blew on John.
At step 12, after all this has been done.
Yeah, none of that could have happened along the way here. We have now lost 17 more applicants. So now 30 of 56 have completed step 12. Step 13, states must submit a final proposal.
This is also how you make sure to get only the people that can, the businesses that could like afford all of this bureaucracy rigmarole. Because like a small company to do something with this broadband is probably not going to have the manpower, like the paperwork manpower to like go this far.
Yeah.
Like this is insane.
Well, that's how you see it. There's so many applicants, and then it just they say screw it. We're like
gotta
it
be,
keeps
right?
dropping, it keeps dropping, it keeps dropping.
It's not because they're getting like cut out because of like qualifications, right?
Yeah,
It doesn't
no.
seem like.
Yeah, no, it's not the qualifications that are cutting them out.
Maybe it is. Like I'm not sure,
I mean,
but
maybe a couple of them, sure, but
slight
yeah.
assumption. I think it's because of the
most
hats.
of them. It's all just because it's just things they have to do to go down the like hole of regulations and get qualified, and they're just like, you know what? I've been trying to qualify for this for years, and I got better shit to do.
Right? Ain't
Like,
gonna be worth it.
Like, yeah, it's not gonna ever cook, so we're just gonna let that one spoil.
This all the proposals weren't enough to NTIA. Now that goes to 3 of 56. So we've gone in the last couple steps from 56 had gone to this point to 3 of 56. Step 14. The NTIA must review and approve the state's final proposal. And that is 3 of the 56 jurisdictions and states are there. In summary, states are nearly at the finish line. And it says to stop their progress now, or worse, to make them go backwards, would be a stick in the spokes of the most promising broadband deployment plans we have ever seen. End scene.
I'm speechless, Ezra. Honestly, like it's far worse than I could have imagined. But the fact that they amputated their own legs on this is what's so stunning.
And that's
He
what
obviously hasn't been doing his research or paying attention, because this is multiple different projects throughout the U.S. Let's talk about the Green New Deal. So billions upon billions of dollars were poured in to put up Tesla charging station, well, just electric car charging stations
Right.
all over the U.S. How many had been put up after billions of dollars? It was maybe one. I think they got one done.
Like when the government
Maybe
was
one
trying
and a
to help?
half. Yeah, it was a whole initiative. Joe Biden was all talking about, we're spending, I almost want to say it was $11 billion. And I don't think, I know, like, for instance, the Tesla charging station at Cherry Valley, you weren't even putting up 11 stations, and you have, like, let's just say it was $11 billion. There's no way you can spend $1 billion on one station. I mean, if you are,
Not $1 billion.
those guys, those contractors that did it, well, they retired after that job.
They crooks.
they took that money and they're like, well, we moving to stuff wherever we want. We're living fat the rest of our lives.
So
It just is, money goes in, nothing comes out. So what does that tell
like
you?
no productive thing.
Money is getting funneled into somewhere, and it's not the project.
Someone's pocket is taking our tax dollars.
Yeah. Yeah, literally. Well, it's just like what's her face with the appliance program? I need billions of dollars to get people these appliances.
Yeah, just like Fannie Willis, man, going on vacations and,
Yeah, buying mansions.
oh, she buy mansions too?
Well, she got a couple of nice
The one she's in trouble for, though, is she said that her property had 4 rooms when it really had 5 so that she could qualify for a loan. So I guess she was a hypocrite and she undervalued her property.
Oh, kind of like how they kept crying about Trump with his trials.
Improperly valuing his property. Technically, she went the other way. She tried
That's some real.
tried to lower value it.
That's some super hypocritism. Oh, it is painful to look at.
If you like Tom McDonald, or maybe if you don't know about him yet, you can check this one out. I posted here in the Locals feed. You can click on that locals.massdash.com in the description box down below. Come hang out, check out the posts. But Mr. Tom McDonald had a pretty cool PragerU interview, so it's just kind of like his story, and it's interesting to see or to hear, like where he came from, kind of thing, and why his music is super patriotic and like political or something. So his like dad and grandpa or something like that were like really into politics. So he kind of grew up with them talking about politics and watching and listening. But his like grandpa was like super American patriotic. So even though
Generally,
they
most
lived
grandpas, they grew up in the time of World War II, so they end up
in
yeah.
Canada, he's Canadian. So
I
they're in
mean-
Canada, but like
Canada.
they're super like patriotic of America.
Well,
So then he moved down here one day.
well, they are technically just an extension of us.
I mean, what were the damn? I didn't look it up. What were the facts?
Oh, Trudeau's on that Epstein list too. Lo and behold, what a surprise! Canada. And we'll probably get to talking about the signal leak eventually, Trolley. Do you know who
I didn't even think it was like a nothing burger, bro. So I didn't even like post about
because they're talking about it saying this, and it leaked confidential
it. Yeah,
information.
none of it was
blah.
confidential.
Yeah,
They had a hearing.
It's just all propaganda.
Now,
Also,
is it a screw up? Maybe. Was it on purpose? I say, I think so.
Who accidentally added in that specific journalist into the list?
Mike
that,
Walls.
That sounds pretty sus. Also,
Which is why I think they did it on purpose to just distract and change the news media feed.
Also, do you know who created Signal?
Yeah, the CIA.
The CIA.
Or funded,
Either way,
Right,
they got their hands in that
Like,
cookie jar.
Be a little
And
technical word, yeah.
and you notice how? Did you hear how? I forgot who it was. Was it Rubio saying that when you get into that job position, the first thing they all do is download Signal on like your PC, and that's the way they can chat amongst each other.
Yeah.
So the CIA is just definitely want to keep eyes on all this other stuff. For what reason? Oh, maybe because Mossad and the CIA are both intelligence agencies. And
Right.
what do you do to pressure people? Oh, you get information and then blackmail them.
Because and then that's not speculation either. The CIA actually got Tucker Carlson's Signal chats.
Yeah.
And like he literally saw them printed out.
Yeah. No, I like how I don't know why the government's still they need to use something else other than Signal, obviously. I mean, that's the only thing that comes out of this is Signal is obviously compromised and they should just not use it. Because if a journalist guy can just take that and post it up for regular people to see, I would think there should be some repercussions for that.
Right.
If you've seen it or not, as a regular person and you know you weren't supposed to be in that chat, what would that be in other countries? Espionage.
Right.
Treason, espionage.
Which, like, dude,
Going
I don't
against
know.
the interest of your country.
People make mistakes, bro, but like you don't accidentally add somebody to a chat. It says the
Well-
person was added to the chat in the chat.
Yeah.
Like all chats, to make sure something like this don't happen where you accidentally add somebody and then forget.
Yeah.
And then that person sees all the information you're talking about. Like,
first off, it's basically just like
That's why I think it's a conspiracy theory.
yeah, there was no date of plans, no actual locations, none of that. And let's talk about the whole
Well, they were talking
plan
about
that they
it
were talking about.
coming up, and it hadn't happened yet, but it happened in 2 hours. So
Yeah.
if he was really on it, he could have like maybe said something that would have like
But guess what? Doesn't matter because the mission was successful.
sure. But the point of it though, the steel man, the argument is, oh, they're so inept they need to be fired. Trump's team's a bunch of idiots.
Yeah,
They
right.
accidentally added this dude.
Yep.
Oh, they could have screwed something up. Oh,
Yeah,
it's
which
ridiculous.
is more than likely why it was done on purpose.
What would
to
we be
try
saying-
to just make it all look bad?
What would we be saying if Biden's cabinet did this? You know, so I'd be saying
they're a bunch of idiots.
they're
yeah.
a bunch of fools. But then I'd say, oh shit, if it looks like they did it on purpose, okay, so they're not foolish, but that's annoying that they're playing a game. So that's where I kind of feel like it's like, oh, it is a little bit annoying they're playing a game. I think
Like-
it was a dumb game.
Like even if it was Biden's cabinet, I wouldn't say fired. Just like, oh, look, you slipping up. You are not doing well. How about
I'd be
you?
saying these guys are
How about
idiots.
you do yeah, exactly? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, we're just saying, oh, how did you not see that slip up?
But then if we knew that it was like a, conspiracy theory where they did it on purpose, it'd be, oh, they're just, stupid deep state politicians trying to like, fake the
Also,
news media feed. Like,
It's really easy to look at that as a normal person that doesn't have much going on in your life to be like, oh, wow. How did they not notice he was added to the chat? Scott, what chats am I a part of? And I've been a part of them for a long time, and there's all sorts of info shared in them. And do I have any clue about that? Even weeks later?
I guess.
I don't. Like if somebody
So the
added
answer
somebody new
is
into any of our chats, would
They're
I
just
notice?
boomers like
Would I
you?
notice? No, because I have a shit ton of stuff going on in my life. I can't look in the chat.
You don't
every
like butt
second
add
of the
somebody in
day.
the chat though, man. Come on now.
But if somebody added somebody into, say, the Truthercast chat, I would not even notice because I barely go in that chat except for occasionally. Like, I'm not going to scroll all the way back
Lame.
and then see, oh, I will comment first before possibly seeing that somebody was added in the chat.
If there's other talk, yeah.
Yeah. Because there's so many burgers to fry.
If you look at the numbers over here, this is why Canada doesn't have a big spend on military. This is why they don't need to spend on that budget because they're just a runoff, like you were just saying, right?
Like, we are their military.
Correct, because we
Yes.
wouldn't accept anything, coming near them. So Canada has 80 Leopard 2s. The U.S. has 5,500 M1 Abrams. I think those are tanks. Yeah.
Yeah, M1 Abrams are tanks.
Canada has 76 CF-18s. They got 76. All right. We've got over 1,900? That seems even low. Like we're the fancy military and you only need 1,900 of those? That's interesting.
Well, I mean, if you spread it
That's
over
kind
so
of
many
small.
states,
Right.
they cover ground.
It just kind of seems still like a small number to me, like just being completely ignorant of military operations. Canada has 68,000 personnel in the military to our 1.3 million. And no wonder. Wait, they spend 1.4% and that's all they have? Interesting. But we spend only 3.5%. Interesting. On defense. But that's why Canada doesn't got to
them.
worry about much. We've got the equipment, folks. All right, this one is pretty good, man. I said, why are you gonna like log me out? We were just logged in. It may make sense to like direct tax dollars to, developing medications that save lives and stuff like that, but like the COVID vaccine, it's tricky, right? Because like, should we take federal tax dollars to fund medications that would maybe save lives? Just on its face.
Right. Yeah. At face value.
At face value, that's like, well, yeah, probably.
Sounds kind of like something we maybe shouldn't do.
Yeah. And so, I always clarify maybe COVID-19 vaccines are needed, but it's still a bit strange, on the medical ethics side, in my humble opinion, when you pushed out, all of this without studies like being properly done. And then you blanket mandate it on people and all of that kind of stuff. Like you don't properly diagnose everybody to make sure that they're okay with it. Right. So then I think the part that makes it different than just the Fed took our tax dollars and made a medication to try and save people's lives is then all the corruption that came in, where it was like, Moderna was making money. The United States had part of the patent rights, so they made money. But like, we should make money as a business, so maybe it's a good idea. But then, like, the flu disappeared, and then all of a sudden everything was COVID. So then, like, everybody made money. So, like, where did all that money go? Goes up to the higher ups. Like, they just like make fat stacks. And like, did it save a bunch of lives? Technically, we don't even have the data for that.
Lives in the future.
Like, technically, we don't even have the data for that, right? Like, how many vaccine lives were saved? It's hard to tell because, like, you can't tell if that person is going to die without the vaccine. But I think that's very, very difficult. So here is basically the taxpayers paid for the creation of the COVID-19 virus through USAID and then paid the mainstream media to brainwash them about masks, vaccines, and lockdowns. This is unbelievable what these crazy people did to us, says this, guy on X. And check out what this woman is saying here.
By law,
we got a X glitch.
all federal spending is required to be publicly available on usaspending.gov. We've known for a while that Dr. Fauci used NIH funding to finance bat coronavirus research at the Wuhan Institute of Virology, but it took the watchdog White Coat Waste Project to expose evidence that USAID was funding it too. In fact, the bulk of the money came from USAID. Yet no grants to the Chinese lab appeared on usaspending.gov. It was hidden from the public through layers of unreported subgrants and subawards. Thankfully, my push to defund EcoHealth Alliance was successful, and the group is now barred from receiving U.S. government grants. But this is why my TRACS Act must become law to prevent money being sent to China, the Taliban, or any other foreign adversary. Every grant recipient must be disclosed to ensure accountability, and we shouldn't stop there. My bipartisan Stop Secret Spending Act, introduced with Ranking Member Peters, would add additional transparency to federal spending. So, Mr. Schellenberger, I'll start with you, please. Why is USAID so secretive about how it spends billions of taxpayer dollars? Is it to avoid the public outrage over the waste, or is there something more nefarious there?
Well, thank you, Senator. And first of all, thank you for your leadership in bringing transparency and accountability to aid and the funding there. Obviously, this example you just gave of the Wuhan Institute of Virology is incredible. I mean, the fact it appears that the U.S. government funded the creation of the virus that caused the global pandemic.
Yeah, so that's the thing about when people do things sneakily. Like, it just kind of, makes you wonder. So, maybe they were not doing anything nefarious, and maybe it's a good idea to take all our tax money that we work hard for and make global pandemic diseases and then make cures to make money off of them. Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know. I'm just some bloke that talks on the effing internet, but when you do that all sneakily and try to like obfuscate things, it definitely makes it seem like you got some kind of a shady agenda going on. And personally, I don't think we should be spending our money on creating global pandemic things and then trying to sell people the cure. Like, but that's just me.
Especially when half the time it is doing the opposite and just putting them in the morgue.
Yep. And then you find like weird protein strands in their like, blood thing after like.
And it's got HIV in it and E. coli in it.
pretty strange.
I don't care how it works. HIV should probably not be in it.
Have you heard one person in real life tell you that they regret voting for Trump?
Only that one person that they keep replaying on the mainstream.
Yeah, because is it this person, the Joe Walsh? I don't know.
Some
They were like,
it's some female. I don't even,
oh, it's a female.
Yeah.
They were like, because I used to be a Trump supporter, I engaged with Trump supporters every day, and like 4 Trump supporters just today told me, they voted for him, and now they're upset. Like, dude, they said this is not what I voted for. 4 random Trump supporters just today. Yeah, nah, bro, that's like straight up like what propaganda, bro. What's the point of someone doing this, man? Like,
and like the majority of anybody that
people.
is talking about it in that way, it is just because things aren't happening as fast as they were hoping for, which they don't realize he has to undo decades of work, and he's not going to be able to. No matter what he does, he's not going to be able to reverse the decades of bullcrap they have layered up. And also, if they want to hate, they can get in his position and do a better job, because they won't be able to. Haters are going to hate. Maybe Trump's duping
I'd
us.
just say you're welcome.
It's not totally out of the ballpark that he could be duping us, but the percentage scale is very low.
Yeah, black pill. There's no good guys.
Yeah. Maybe he is
doing this
part
to,
of the
like,
plan. Get us all riled up, that, oh, yay, we finally got somebody who's going to do something for us. And then, so we're going to be distracted thinking things are good and not keep digging up information about certain people and certain things.
I guess you could say to lure us into a false sense of security or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But either way, my security is, it's regardless fine, like, because I have my own things to do. If it is a thing to worry about, you can worry about it, but either way, it doesn't change the fact that still going to be digging for the truth and always seeing what the actual actions are instead
Right.
of what is just being said.
So Trolley's attempting to argue that we brushed over the signal leak, and it's actually a huge national security violation. So I'm not sure it's actually a national security violation, but technically, I can see how you could argue that, but none of it was classified information. So I think it was just like, you can't say it was a national security violation or risk, but you could say it was like bad practice. It's like definitely not a good idea to just add journalists to a chat and then
Yeah.
talk about defense things. I'd be upset at my coworker that did this.
Yep.
I'd be like, hey, do you want to come over to my house for dinner? And then I'd bop him in the head.
Yeah. But how many things have mainstream said has been a threat to national security over the years that has been...
Well, right. That's like a phrase that, he's kind of parroting, I imagine. But,
Yeah.
play Steel Man game.
It's one of those...
Yeah, sure.
It's one of
definitely not
those
good.
hot phrases of the days, since Orange Man is so bad.
Sharing sensitive Espionage Act. Sharing sensitive info on an unsecure platform could be gross negligence if risked interception by phishing or device compromised, even without malicious intent. Penalties can reach 10 years in prison. Prosecution rare for high-level officials. So basically, people get away with Espionage Act all the time.
Phishing or device compromise, which
So if the
neither one of
journalist
those is what happened. What happened was
that one's tricky. We can't.
a
prove it
U.S.
either.
citizen posted it up publicly.
But we don't know if his phone was hacked.
I mean, you can ask him in his or you could just watch his interviews, and it definitely wasn't hacked since he just willingly posted it up.
Yeah, right. I'm saying like on top of it, and then like, oh, maybe a bad guy got the info because his phone was hacked also. So like both happened. A bad guy secretly got the information, and then he also willingly posted it.
Well, either way, the source would have been him first posting it publicly.
Right.
If they didn't have word, then they would have just had to do that ahead of time. Which, how would they have known? So either way, that puts the journalists at fault for leaking sensitive national security topics. So he put the country at risk just to prove that Trump is bad, because you didn't have to post any of that. I mean, since, the attack happened 2 hours after this all happened, how soon did he actually post it? It was probably after that. But either way,
He did say he waited, I think.
yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm pretty
So
sure
it's a breach, and
he
like he
waited a
could
little
have
bit.
tipped somebody off, but
Yeah.
journalist was edited inadvertently. Yeah, it was by Tim Walz, I'm pretty sure. But so like, what do you think about that, Trolley?
Drunk Pete. Yeah, him talking to the reporter. How do you know he was drunk?
Okay, so
and
that's
what are
definitely
you making a point of with that?
That's definitely the Hive Mind upload of the week, though,
Yeah.
because they were all trying to say like, "Whoa, why was he drunk and he's get fired?" No, like,
No, because he is busy with many other actual meaningful tasks, and just like that's how I was iterating with me and my chats in my life. Like the actual fish being fried are not that, and so I'm paying minimal attention into this.
do you see what Boomer Trolley wrote? He said, "I can't believe you're still using AI instead of just looking it up."
That is
like,
looking.
like what? What do you mean, dude?
You understand AI uses the looking up thing that we would do, right? You understand how that works? Oh man,
this is embarrassing for you guys. No one's embarrassed except no, I guess Trolley's not embarrassed either, but
well, he's obviously biased because Google is a left-sided corporation.
I would imagine that's why he wants us to just type it into the magical Google box, so it just shows all the left leaning censored headlines and stuff. But we're actually more intelligent than you are. You know how AI works? Then I don't understand. What do you mean look it up? I don't need to Google shit. How do you look it up, you ding dong?
Read a newspaper. Oh yeah, because that's a
well,
non-biased source.
There is other ways than going to the doctor to figure out if you have AIDS, right? Like I just always take the roundabout AIDS test. You ever take one? You know how you take the roundabouts AIDS test? You just
wait a decade to see if you're dying.
I just call 3 friends and I say, "Hey man, you know anyone that has AIDS?" And they say no, and I say, "All right."
Sounds good. I must not have AIDS.
That's a good old Hedberg joke.
Hedberg is a legend.
So in this week in I Told You So, just like the opener, back to the theme already. I've been trying to tell people that fluoride is not good for I think over a decade.
At least over a decade.
Maybe we've known each other for 12 years, so definitely over a decade. Probably 2 decades? Probably over 2 decades. I'm getting pretty damn old, bro. I was on this fluoride shit way early, and people just thought I was some nut job, hippy dippy, tinfoil hat, conspiracy theory man.
No,
but we got.
It sucks when you find the knowledge before mainstream is willing to propagandize the not. Well, they can't deny through propaganda the knowledge of what we know.
Because we got our good trolley's favorite friend of the show, Tim Cast here, talking about the fluoride.
Federal court rules against EPA in lawsuit over fluoride in water. Is this the story that you were talking about?
But you could look at Full Measure with Cheryl Atkinson and see an even better story.
Let's pull that up.
Excuse me.
So what's the gist of this?
The gist is the court agrees there's overwhelming scientific evidence as to the risks and dangers of fluoride in water, and the EPA is under an order now to come up with some kind of policy decision that there seems to be no way out. The EPA cannot certify that fluoride is safe in the water, so as a result, they're going to have to likely admit that it's not safe, which will then mean states, communities, cities, and so on can't use it.
So CBS says a federal court in California ruled late Tuesday against the EPA, ordering officials to take action over concerns about potential health risks from currently recommended levels of fluoride in the American drinking water supply. The ruling by D.C. Judge Edward Chen, an appointee of Obama, deals a blow to public health groups in the growing debate about whether the benefits of continuing to add fluoride to the water outweighs the risk. I am confused. Are they saying public health groups want fluoride in water?
Yes, because they're bought out by the fluoride industry, which is a very well-funded and
big fluoride, son of a...
orchestrated propaganda campaign that began when it was discovered that fluoride was a byproduct of industrial processes and was too dangerous to dispose of in the ground. I think we're talking 1920s, 1930s. Industries were going to have to figure out a way, and it was going to be expensive to dispose of the dangerous fluoride.
Why is it always a waste product, dog? Vegetable oil.
Got to maximize those profits.
Red 4, yellow 5, whatever.
It's always maximize them profits.
And instead,
yeah, that's the story though, man. They're like 100% like, yeah, so I think fluoride might be bad. Maybe fluoride's bad. Yeah, bro. I've heard it's bad for a very long time, but that's good. Hopefully we can get rid of the fluoride in the water. But I don't know. Tim doesn't get too woo-woo, but I think if we could decalcify everybody's, like pineal glands, that'd probably be a good thing too,
Yeah, it might almost bring everybody's consciousness to fruition of evolving to the next state.
Do you think if people's calcified pineal glands were not there because we got rid of the fluoride, they might have more realization?
Possibly, but there's going to be one thing that's always going to hold humanity up from evolving. And that's the troll's consciousness. It's like never going to evolve ever as far as I've been. That's all the awareness and realization I'm coming to with that.
It's people's willingness to be intelligent.
Yeah.
The willpower just doesn't exist. And you're always going to have people that just want to be problematic losers.
Yep.
I mean, that's how communism got invented.
Yeah.
So,
I
was going to have to deal with that, I guess.
The king didn't have friends, so he made people be his friends because he got into a position of power.
Speaking of leftist losers, you see this guy?
Yep.
I wonder if this is what Trolley looks like nowadays.
You FAFO, and then all of a sudden the internet finds you out.
Yeah. So this right here, folks, is the receipt to share the friend, family, or foe when they're saying like, oh, yeah, the people like, like targeting these, like Tesla places, like they're not necessarily like communists or anything, because like our side may say, oh, these goddamn liberal, like communist, socialist sons of bitches, they're all like dumb, and they saw on the television that like Elon's the bad man now, so they're all attacking him and shit. This guy apparently is like literally a communist. This one's from a good friend of the show here, the liberal hive mind.
And he's been hard to work lately. I mean, he has been for a while, but especially.
In the name of Paul Hyun Kim, suspected Tesla arsonist, yeah, it's now confirmed. He wasn't some sort of pyromaniac with no clear motive. No, his motive was quite clear.
I thought the meme was actually really good too. This tire skid marks on the pride flag on the road. That's vandalism. And then melting down Teslas. Yeah, bro, that's protesting.
Well,
Somebody went to jail for
the best thing
tire
is
tracks.
CNN's trying to, because it's definitely domestic terrorism, going in with Molotov cocktails
Oh, 100%.
and trying to burn it down to the ground and possibly harming other U.S. citizens that are innocent and don't really have a hand in the matter. That definitely could be seen as domestic terrorism or insurrection. Yet, maybe some broken glass at the Capitol, which was probably not even done by actual, protesters. That was more than likely Antifa. And the hypocrisy is always ridiculous. Always is.
Ridiculous.
Here it was absolutely
Because
political.
they are small-minded children that basically mommy and daddy told them no, and they said, well, I can't think of an actual reason why it's not, but like I just have to go against you because I'm a child and I have to have it my way, even if it is the wrong way.
I actually heard that they have brains the size of a goldfish. That's what people tell me. People tell me these liberal handicapped morons are very goldfish-like. I don't know. That's just what I've heard.
Mean, it's got to be at least a little bit bigger than, I don't know. Can you teach a goldfish tricks? Because literally you just like hold up a carrot in front of them and they just like, they're just like little dogs. You can train them to do whatever you tell them to do. They just go, oh, yes, master, yes. Like, I'll totally do whatever pleases you.
Grandpa always told me that you can lead a fish to water, but you can't force it to drink because they don't drink water. It's kind of crazy.
In other words, he's a product of the extreme left-wing rhetoric, and we got the receipts to prove that, as all of his social media accounts and posts have now been found and exposed. Let me show you guys exactly what's going on here. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, so the Tesla terrorist has been identified, he's been revealed, and you're not going to be shocked at all by some of the stuff that this guy was posting. Let's put his photo here on screen. This is Paul Hyun Kim. He's the guy who's now being accused of firebombing a Tesla dealership in Las Vegas, and it's now confirmed that he's exactly who you thought he'd be, a radicalized leftist lunatic, basically perfectly fitting the mold. I want to give a huge shout out to Kanekoa the Great because he went and found all the receipts and put it all together in this incredible thread here. So yeah, this guy's social media presence is pretty much textbook. Years of leftist brain rot, deranged resistance posting. Let's go through a few of the greatest hits here. Back in 2020, this guy was sharing a bunch of pro-BLM posts, cheering on the Minneapolis City Council's plan to abolish the police, praising protesters who shut down highways. He called MAGA and All Lives Matter people racists. Back during the pandemic, he posted Newsweek and Vice articles saying people who didn't wear masks were essentially sociopaths. He even at one point doxed Derek Chauvin's address. There's also another post where he shared a list of, quote, traitors after January 6, basically promoting vigilante justice. So just a quick little overview of some of this guy's posts. In other words, he's a full-blown Reddit leftoid. What a surprise. And now here he is, torching Teslas. What we are seeing is the product of leftist programming. It's why their rhetoric is so dangerous. It's like
110%, and that is the point of this piece, right? Is that the rhetoric is dangerous. It creates and activates crazy people. And back in the day, it was like, cool, they're going to go protest in like rebel signs or something. And hopefully it makes a change. But, nowadays it's just got out of control where people think it needs to be like lighting effing cars on fire and shit to make a change, bro. Like, that's absolutely bonkers.
Yep. They just basically tell them what to do, point a finger, and they just follow in line, not thinking about things because they just have so much anger pent up in them. Almost kind of like a great example is the chat.
Yeah, if you're hanging out live here with us, you gotta try out the chat here because Trolley's having a fun one tonight, man. He's being real ridiculous. And he's also just avoiding the whole point of keeping Trolley around here. So, we're still waiting for that. What's wrong with the Elon Musk this week, buddy?
Yeah. tells us to look up. Maybe he just doesn't. He's too lazy to look these things up himself, so he just comes here to try to get us to look them up. So then he actually learns these things. I mean, that's what we're here for, right? We're here to bring awareness and realization.
Amen.
I mean, they might be mad about it, but maybe one day.
Judge rules that, the quote, "he hurt my feelings" is not a good enough reason to try and stop Elon Musk and the Doge department. So USAID shut down by July 1st, like I was saying kind of earlier, man. It is going down. So it's like they were trying to stop it. Judge ruled, I guess, is like the big, part of this piece or something. So that is what now is allowing the official, hey, we're going to shut down the USAID July 1st. And then those things are going to be all, like the things that are good are going to be like consumed by other departments of the government. So, before you freak out, crazy lefty peoples, make sure to tell them, hey, we're still going to keep the good stuff. Oh, yeah. You don't ever want to forget that the former director of the CIA, John Brennan, issued visas to 15 out of the 19 September 11th hijackers.
CIA always doing some silly shit.
Like, that's bonkers, right?
And the visa scandals are all over this. It was John Brennan as CIA station chief, by the way, in Saudi Arabia, in the run up to 9/11, who together with the U.S. consulate issued the visas to 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers. That was our visas. Now, look, there were only 11 of the 19 were Saudis. They were actually giving Saudi visas to non-Saudis. And 15 of the 19, you can read all about this in the guy who...
I can tell you one thing that was never long, probably not very hard either. I'll just leave that one up there for people.
For that U.S. consulate is J. Michael Springman. He wrote a book called Visas for Terrorists, where he goes over how the whole thing was done. And the visa scandals are all over this. It was John Brennan as CIA station chief, by the way, in Saudi Arabia, in the run up to 9/11, who together with the U.S. consulate issued the visas to 15 of the 19 9/11 hijackers. That was our visas. Now, look, there were only 11 of the 19 were Saudis. They were actually giving Saudi visas to non-Saudis. And 15 of the 19, you can read all about this in the guy who ran the visa desk for that U.S. consulate is J. Michael Springman. He wrote a book called Visas for Terrorists.
There's no way he knew that, they were going to be Terrys, though. So, had to have just been a total accident.
Yeah, there was no nudging involved.
And you're right. Yeah, right. Yeah. And then he became the director. So it's like, bro, you screwed up and gave those Terrys the visas. You're still cool, man.
My bust.
You were nudgeable. Put him in the director's seat.
We like this guy. He's very nudgy.
I show up to work on Monday? Yes, Brennan. Yes. Just show up. Okay. All right. Good stooge.
I don't have any self-awareness of ethics and morals. I shall be a great person to head the CIA. I take orders. I don't question the morality and ethics of them. I just do.
And then, so like, if you were a crazy 9/11 tinfoil hat, conspiracy theorist, like, we here at the Truther Cast, because we're taking back the Truther word, because that is not a bad, naughty word for people that believe that 9/11 was an inside job. But, if you're one of us crazy people, you might think that, if you were going to allow an event to go down to be so egregious that you could pass something like the Patriot Act and, use it as the big bad boogeyman, for the next coming years, right?
And give NSA a full excuse to be up all of our butts.
Yeah, you might think that the guy that was nudgeable to get those visas would be a great pawn to move into the director's seat. So, like, just look at the timeline, guys. Like, I don't know, man. Like, writing's on the walls, on my opinion.
It just seems to, connect the dots.
I definitely think that 9/11 is
Connect
like,
4 if you're a gamer.
I think 9/11 is like our JFK, right? So, like, JFK people that
Right.
believed there was like, oh, there was 2 shooters. They were like, I wonder if like ever in my lifetime the truth will come out, you know? So it's like, man, I wonder if like the truth will ever come out about 9.
I mean, well, here's the weird thing about that is there's like so much evidence for it already. The JFK thing, it happened, like there was only a video or 2 that circulated and then were like basically wiped off the internet for a while there. The truth
Right.
is pretty much like if you just do the research, it's pretty easy to figure out, and the odds seem to weigh at least a good 75-25 that 9/11 was set up.
And we had a couple cell phone videos too. People like, yeah, no,
The
like,
actual news footage.
the second plane or the second building just blew up. Oh, like another plane hit it? No, it just blew up. Like,
I mean, normies probably don't a loud noise is a loud noise. Like, hey, I'm talking to you right now. Some people think that is yelling, but
I get told I'm yelling all the time, and I disagree.
yeah, I mean, you're not, you're just loud. Loud, see, and that's the thing. Raising your voice and yelling is 2 different things. This is a thing of education.
I was just talking.
Understanding the
But
definitions
should we be-
of different things.
Very good thing to
Not
remember.
just grouping everything into one basket.
I'm just gonna see what you guys think, because there's no, I don't know, I don't even want to taint the idea pool here. But what is the first thing you think when you hear that Jeffrey Epstein's sex trafficking victim, Virginia, disturbing Instagram post claims that she just got told she only has 4 days to live because she's so damaged from a car accident where a bus accidentally ran into her? What do you think?
Final Destination. She cheated death at one point, and now it's just out to get her. That's all it is.
Oh my lord.
But I can tell you one thing about sex. The only thing
Shock.
that does the only thing that makes somebody hard, not long still, unfortunately, with how bad, like, we got to go to psychology here.
What is this troll talking about?
Well, we're just going to go back a week here. Maybe it's 2. I can't keep track with this crap. You notice how defensive he was over a certain woman in his life? It's almost like that one book. I'm pretty darn sure if he gets hard, it's for someone of the family. Weird.
So, when you hear that, the woman that was like quintessential in, the Epstein, getting tried for, pedophilia. I don't think he got tried for human trafficking, but, he did get 100% convicted for the pedophilia. But when you find out that the woman that was quintessential and coming forward for that got hit by a bus and is now going to die, I don't know, bro. That sounds like a movie, dude. Maybe I watched too many movies.
That's just really strange. It's almost like Kobe coming out with all that research he was doing, and then the cancer.
That's a good one no one brings up,
the
bro.
cancer doctors on the Brazil flight. Let's see, how many others do we have to go down the list? There's at least 10 examples of people that just had certain information or were going to leak certain things, and then like they just the bad old heart attack goblin gets some, or
The heart attack goblin.
yeah, or some horrific car crash just just seems to happen. All these just weird things happen.
No. Like me and the girl are watching Daredevil right now, and so then it makes it extra like, shit, I'm totally biased. Because like the whole thing is, like, do you know Daredevil's story? Kingpin's the main bad guy, the big bald white dude in the white suit.
No,
from the comic book.
No,
Okay,
I'm not familiar with it.
So he's the main bad guy, and his shtick is very Lex Luthor. So he's like in the public, you know, and he's not like the dark, like hiding in the dark, like bad guy or whatever. So his like alter ego is like, I'm just doing good for the city, and I'm just trying to help the city. But then like everybody that got dirt on him ends up just getting in a car crash, or like some hitman goes and kills at the last second right before they're about to testify.
All possible squeakers stop squeaking.
So it's like, bruh, this is another one of those, like, this is kind of like a real life documentary. I don't know. I'm very speculative, tinfoil hatty.
Yeah,
Call me crazy.
Right. You just have to figure out the characters' professions or the squeakers' professions that get off to the character. And who knows? It might match up exactly to somebody in real life circumstances.
Real life analogy.
The author might be trying to low key.
They're journalists.
They might be trying to low key tell us some things, you know, because you can't say it out loud or exactly how it is. But if you do it through art, which is kind of like how, you know, a lot of the slave songs were code for them to communicate. They couldn't say it out loud, but they did a little arts. Add in a little artsiness to it, and all of a sudden you can get info across, but only those that know will understand. Kind of like how Masons be.
Yeah, kind of like like Minority Report, or
that Zelensky handshake that he did with which other substantial figure was it? They did the
weird handshake.
They did a Masonic handshake. Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
Oh, you didn't see that one? Dang, I should have posted it in the locals. Me slacking.
Yeah, we didn't have
Shame
no
on
Dan's
me.
in the.
Shame on me. I thought I had one this week, but I guess not. This last week.
Slacking. Don't worry, man. It was lame. 'Cause that's all I
by.
got for us tonight. So like, we got a couple more we could pull up if we wanted to wax loquaciously or something. But
Yeah, got all sorts of things. So I was hoping we were gonna buzz through this fast.
wait, what? You're like, I got shit to do. I was hoping it was gonna be quick. Is that was that one?
Yeah.
Or you say there was something we missed?
No, like I got plenty of stuff I still gotta do. I still gotta walk and do my workout tonight. So
You got 2 workouts to do?
yeah.
Oh yeah, you screwed up, brother.
Yeah, dude, I've been at it since 7 a.m. today, and I didn't have them. I literally had no moment to just go screw off for 45 minutes to even walk.
You gotta do that shit in the morning, man.
If I would have been putting up signs for longer than that, I was going to say that was my outside workout, but I only had to work on those like 15 minutes today. So yeah. Yeah.
I was standing still, but like my arms were like moving. Workout.
I mean, I was outside pulling weeds for 2 hours.
If you're not familiar, both me and Dan are doing 75 hard.
That only made a sore back. I wouldn't say that was a workout.
She screwed up today, and she didn't get up and go and take a walk. I was like, let's go. And she was like, nah. And I was like, I'm sorry. I'm on a time frame. So see you later. Oh, man.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, we're pretty joined by the hip, so it sucked because I was like, deuces, gotta go. So yeah, she was probably taking a walk, waiting for the show and hoping that we would entertain her on the show. But then we were late. We're entertaining her in between because she's probably gonna get a late workout now.
It totally wasn't my fault. I wasn't.
You
a
better
little
not
bit later
cheat
than
because you gotta
usual.
wait 2 hours at minimum in between workouts. She always be trying to cheat.
See,
She's like, cool, it's been long enough, and I'm like, nah, you gotta hold up.
my special sauce with not cheating on that is I walk and then I go to
take a nap.
and then I go to read and I fall asleep for a good hour and a half. Take a little nap ski.
I'm pretty sure.
And then I wake up and I'm like, crap, all right, I'll read and then I'll work out.
Pretty sure Andy would definitely scold you.
Scold, but disqualify? Hopefully not.
That's all that matters to me. So We are not medical professionals, nor do we give medical advice here at the Truther Cast. However, we do cover medical stories, and it keeps coming up in my feed, dude. I don't know who else has a feed like this, but this man tells a story of allegedly helping his wife drastically lessen her breast cancer that's on her spine. So I don't know why it's called breast cancer when it's on your spine. I think they call that spinal cancer.
Those are
like,
some deep-rooted titties.
damn, bro. Like maybe it goes back there. I was like, is this when I'm like, I was this years old when I found out, like, damn, the titties go that far back. I had no idea. I was so interested in the front part. But this woman, had breast cancer, and they gave her chemo and all of that, poor thing lost her hair and everything, but wasn't doing anything. And then this guy claims that he got her on the old, like, nothing too crazy, bro. It was like, get on a diet, cut out all the sugars because the sugar feeds the cancer.
Feeds
and
the
then,
parasites, which
find God.
probably also causes.
Yeah, it was get rid of parasites with ivermectin and fenbendazole.
Those two things that were like ostracized from the media when the vid was the thing.
It's hard not to agree with Tim because ivermectin may not actually be a miracle drug, as in like it cures the cancer.
Yeah,
but I agree with Tim where it may be more, well, if it kills off all the parasites, then your body doesn't fight them, so then it actually allows your immune system to function,
well,
and you can cure a lot of things.
And that's why a lot of people, it's back to basics. It's always back to basics. Keep things stupid simple. A lot of people don't think about it. Ever since I heard this, it just stuck in my head forever. So, what is any disease? What does it do to your body?
Just break it down.
Break the word down. Disease. Dis-ease.
Yeah.
Your body is at dis-ease. So if you start giving your body the things that are taking away the things that put it at dis-ease, all of a sudden your body can do its thing because your body is just a miracle worker. It knows what to do in any situation to try to, its only goal is to keep you going. And the only reason it doesn't keep going is because you keep feeding it or doing crap to it that puts it at so much dis-ease, it just says, fuck this shit, I'm out. Like, it just kicks the bucket because it don't want to deal with it no more. But if people don't realize how, just like the only people that were dying, I haven't looked this up specifically, but I am definitely willing to bet the house on it that not one person died from COVID alone. They had a multiple comorbidity.
Well, there was the big shtick that was going on.
Yeah. So it is not ever one thing unless it is 2 bullets from your suicide from Hillary that actually
Allegedly
take you out. It's always a multiple bunch of things that is actually what makes your body turn off. So yes, you have to, if you feed it good food and you take it out of horrible frequencies, energies, however you want to call it, and you kill off those parasites that are putting your body at disease, because a lot of people argue tapeworms can do good for you. I want a tapeworm in me so I can always be skinny. Well, you will always be somewhat unhealthy and skinny because guess what? The tapeworm's ass is generally not where your asshole is. So the excrement is in your body. You don't eat poop, do you? Right? You don't willingly eat poop at least. So...
Well, unless you read those liberal books. My buddy just hops on and goes, whoop, whoop. Yo, Scott, hit me with some facts on the drive home. And then Dan over here is like, tapeworms and poop.
Welcome to the gas.
He's like, damn, we got off the rails tonight, man. What the what? It is a wonderful time to be alive. I completely agree, because We are getting rid of the deep state bullshit, man. We're going over, we're having a lot of wins. They're shutting down the USAID on July 1st because a judge ordered that they hurt my feelings is not an acceptable reason to stop it to be shut down. Fannie Willis might be going down. She might get some, F around and find out because it turns out she was actually misvaluing her property when she was trying to say that Trump was.
And if you ever hear somebody talking about and trying to make the argument that the undocumented immigrants pay lots of billions of dollars into the Social Security and all that. There's this one guy trying to make a claim like, did you know undocumented immigrants pay all this money and have paid all these billions into our Social Security fund and everything, blah, 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 blah. Like, oh, cool. Sounds good on the surface. So let's actually look into how it works. Remember how they've been allocating money to house illegals and undocumented immigrants and all these other things? So when you add that up, it's actually a whole lot more billions than what they paid in. So it's actually a net negative. We are still paying for them to be here. They might be working and paying in, but it is still costing us money. So what makes sense to do with it? Oh, get rid of them.
Yeah.
Like they also did the math for the percentage of the population, how much they contribute. That, so many of billions of dollars. It is 1/10%.
Interesting.
That's what their contribution is. 1/10%.
So, okay, so it isn't a lot, but then the other part that's absolutely bonkers, I thought I posted this one, but it didn't come up in the show. So it's 1/10%, but then check this out, bro. This is wild.
For all the people out here chin boogieing about Elon Musk is stealing social, 2021, 2022, 2020, going into these.
Where's the clip here? Okay, so legal immigrants paying into the system, right? Are they paying into the system to make America better, to help us? Hold on here. This is from our good show friend, Devin Gibson. But check this out.
We're going to review Social Security, where you may have heard that we found 20 million dead people marked as alive in the Social Security database. This is so crazy. And then you'll notice there's a strange trend here where how many Social Security numbers were issued?
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came up with a big list of stuff that we're working on. You've heard some of that already, but this is what jumped out at us. When we saw these numbers, we were like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24. These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, just this literally.
What is a Social Security number?
It ties you into the company.
Like, is part of the definition like United States citizen? You get a social
Right, to a U.S. citizen.
You don't get a Social Security number until you have a full green card? No, green card's like temporary.
It's the 9-digit ID number issued by the United States government through the Social Security Administration. Why you gotta do that? I could read it just fine.
It was so people could see it more. Oh God!
They don't need to see it. I'm reading it for them.
Okay.
And now it's gone.
There.
Okay. Issued by the United States government through the Social Security Administration to U.S. citizens, permanent residents, and certain non-immigrant workers.
What the F is this? What is a non-immigrant?
Oh, and especially certain non
Isn't that another word for citizen?
non-immigrant worker.
What's a non-immigrant?
So you're like, yeah, okay. So they can't be an immigrant, but they're workers. So does that mean a kid that could mean a kid that gets a worker's permit?
But if he was a kid and didn't immigrate, he would have got a social security number, right?
Because I know I got my social security number before I could work.
Okay, as a person who's been admitted to the country like United States for a temporary period of time for a specific purpose, such as tourism, business, study, work, and not with the intent to live here permanently. Ah, duh. Immigrant is like, yo, I'm coming here to live. Okay, duh. That makes sense.
So, people that...
So they can get a social security number?
Well, if they're going to be making money here, they need to pay into the debt.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that also doesn't mean they have the ability to stay here forever, which means we can kick them out if we so do please.
And we're trying to steel man the argument here. So...
Right, and let me just finish the definition of the Social Security number that it gives us here. It serves as a unique identifier for individuals within the Social Security system and is primarily used to track earnings, administer benefits, in parentheses like retirement, disability, and survivor payments, end parentheses, and facilitate tax reporting.
All right.
Literally blew us away. Like, we went there to find fraud, and we found this by accident. And this isn't political, by the way. My parents are immigrants. Yeah, this country's been great to us. My brother and sister all born in Spain. I'm pro-legal immigration. This is not political. This is not political. This is about America and the future of America. And there are a lot of good people in the system that pointed us in this direction. I want to honor them right now, that work in the government today, who took risks to show us these numbers and tell us what's going on. Yeah. So I want to stop for a minute. I want to honor those people today. Very good people.
If you're just listening, this graph is showing for the year of 2021, there were 270,000 non-citizen Social Security numbers. So these people that came over here that don't plan to live here and, need to pay into the system. And then 2022, it doubled to 590,000. 2023, it was 964,000.
Right, almost doubled again.
And then in 2024, it doubled again to 2 million.
Yeah, a little more than double.
And then 2025, it's dropped in half. And I would only imagine, it's not on the chart, but 2020, the year prior to this, would have been even less than 270,000. I would imagine.
Very good people. I have been from D.C. to Social Security offices.
Which, duh, but the last year was 2 million, and that was right before the election.
To the border to track this down, and very good people have helped us along the way. I want to thank them.
Yeah.
This number, what this is when you come in the country, if you're illegal, there's a couple ways to come in. You come in through a port of entry, and you can tell them you're afraid, and they'll give you an asylum case. You'll get an interview, then you get in. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just go to the border. Literally, this happened. I talked to Border Patrol myself. Elon was there too. I went to Laredo, and I went to Bronzeville. Elon went to Eagle Pass. You walk up to a Border Patrol officer, and you tell them you want to come in. They have a couple of choices. They could charge you with a misdemeanor or a felony under 1325, or they can make it an administrative offense, like a parking ticket, basically. They were told to do that, make it an administrative offense under the last administration. And then you go walk across the border. They do what's called a release your own recognizance, and they give you an NTA, a notice to appear, which to appear to judge. The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Grok, you'll see it on immigration judges. There's only 700 of them. This is 5.5 million people, okay? So what happens then? Once you're in the country and you got asylum through one of these pathways, and we mapped the whole thing out, you can apply for a work document. You file a 765, it's the work form. You get this form called the 766, that's the authorization, and then Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number. No interview. No ID.
This is worth just reiterating. It's not people sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep.
No.
They weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
Look, if I hadn't seen this myself.
He's saying that now?
He said it on a Joe Rogan podcast.
I'm not sure I believed it. I went through it myself and mapped it. And Elon is right. This is true. The defaults in the system from Social Security to all of the benefit programs have been set to max inclusion, max pay for these people, and minimum collection. That's what's happening. We found 1.3 million of them already on Medicaid, as an example. We've gone through on every benefit program we went through, we found groups from this particular group of people, this 5.5 million people in those benefit programs. And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. Right. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to vote in this population, yes.
And who did vote?
And we found some by sampling that actually did vote. And we have referred them to prosecution at the Homeland Security Investigation Service.
Yeah.
Already.
Get him, Howman. Get him. Yeah, dude. So that's insanity. That's how you that's national insurrection, bro. That's how you invade a country.
First year working, and you're gonna get benefits that blow all mine out of the water.
And the sick part is they didn't do it. They just took advantage of some group of people that run the effing America, and they're the ones that did this. They're the ones that set the system up to ruin the country. But to them, it's not ruin. It's to control the country. Absolutely bonkers. So all the tinfoil hat theories were 100% right.
Yeah. They were letting them across the border so then they could eventually vote, because they've been talking about that. There was all
we
the
started
talks
saying
about,
this in 2021, immediately.
Yeah, because that's when they started having those laws go across Congress, and then remember, that's when all those distractions were happening. So we wouldn't pay attention to, hey, look, they're trying to make it where these people can now vote.
And the news wouldn't cover it, of course.
Yeah.
So the normies wouldn't see it.
Yeah, and when they're paying for all of their shit, who do you think they're going to vote for?
We saw interviews of James O'Keefe interviewing people, that Mexican dude at the airport.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna vote for Joe Biden."
Yeah, they're making sure I'm getting taken care of. No shit. Of course you're gonna vote for the people that are gonna say, we want you to be here because we're gonna keep paying for you. Why would they vote for Trump? That just doesn't make any sense.
It's whispering sweet nothing.
It's voting.
As soon as they get elected, they'll treat you like dirt, just like the rest of us.
It's voting to hope you get kicked out if you vote the other way. So they literally put them in a corner. They can only vote one way if they want to continue to reap the great benefits of being in this country.
I don't even know why you'd want to come to America. The internet says this place is horrible.
Right, yeah. There's guns and there's wild Floridians everywhere. There's Florida man all over the place, wreaking havoc on the whole nation.
I mean, Trolley hates himself, so Trolley probably hates America too, right?
I mean, that's once you hate one thing, you hate all sorts of shit.
By the way, Wilkenstein said she finished her workout now and it still has 40 ounces of water.
I don't know exactly how many 40 is, but I have a liter and a half as well. So that's what. Let's see. Does it say on here somewhere?
So this is 40 ounces. This is 40 ounces.
This is a liter is 34 ounces basically.
So all of this is 40 ounces.
That ain't much. Look, this much water, it's
What? I'm saying half of this large water bottle is 40 ounces.
Yeah, and I don't know how much that whole fucking thing is.
That's irrelevant. I'm telling you, from here down is 40 ounces.
Yeah. Would you like a cookie?
What?
It doesn't give much of a feeling of how much. Okay, like
It's a large water bottle, and half of it is 40 ounces.
Yeah,
That's a rough idea of how much water there is. So what would be a better depiction for you?
You're not saying cups or liters. Like people know a liter as in.
I have no idea what the F a liter means, bro. That's not even American. Get out of here.
Okay, large.
What are you gonna order? A liter of cola?
Large pint of beer. That's what everybody can agree with and visualize and know how much. That's like a decent amount of liquid.
Right. So it says 1.12 liters. That's not one pint of beer.
1.1 what liter?
1.12 liters. It's 38 ounces. So a liter is half of this giant water bottle.
Wait, what?
It says 38 ounces as 1.12 liters.
Why would it even say that?
Because that's how much it is?
No, that's got to be. This is 34 ounces. This is a liter.
So what is in that is half of this giant water bottle? That seems off. You might want to check that.
No, that's why that was a bad representation is what I'm getting
You're
at.
saying you got to check that?
This is exactly why I use a 1 liter water bottle and I just fill it
I'm saying
3
that ain't
and
no 1
3
liter, bro.
3 3/4 times. 1 liter.
Who makes that? Woke Inc. They said 2 + 2 is 5. So, yeah, the tinfoil hat theory, folks, were right. Yet again, folks, they totally were letting the illegal immigrants in so they could vote for Joe Biden. Or Kamala Harris, I guess, because he didn't even make it to the end.
Right? Yep. Also was not voted in.
Okay, Wilkinson actually suggested perhaps 2 venti Starbucks because Dan totally goes to Starbucks and he'll get it.
I am way too frugal to go to Starbucks. Also, it's Satan coffee.
She definitely wasn't being a smartass, Dan. She was being literal.
It's Satan coffee. It's super sugary. And first off, I ain't having any big amounts of sugar for my 75 hard. So I don't go. I have went to Starbucks in the past, though. The vanilla bean is the most white girl thing about me. It's delicious. I can't deny it. I love the vanilla bean from Starbucks. And mocha caramel macchiato.
Oh, here's a slight comic relief one. Fires 3 rounds into a crowd of liberals, hits 3 pedos. What do you know?
I've seen that flash before, like earlier when you were going between pages. I love all the...
Totally unbelievable, right?
Yeah, totally unbelievable.
Why is it the odds are just jacked real high? Where if you shot a bully into a crowd of liberals, you probably gonna hit a pedo.
You could say the same thing. If you shot all late night talk show hosts, you would be shooting all pedos.
Not Jimmy Kimmel, man. Not
Oh,
Jimmy.
he was never that great.
No, I never liked him.
Conan
was bomb, bro.
Conan was actually funny.
Conan was hilarious. I actually hated Jimmy Kimmel forever and still do. I just think he's probably the best of all of them.
What, like success wise?
Like of the current like mainstream losers.
Because he doesn't go hard. Yeah, he's not like Stephen Colbert where he has like a meltdown over the signal.
Right.
He had a meltdown.
Well, and he's like kind of funny. Like the other ones are just like mouthpieces.
You know what's interesting? If you get into like the spiritual side of things, anybody listening, watch the Stephen Colbert episode where he talks about the signal chat leak. He gets really close up to the camera at a point and look at his eyes. Just look at his oculus. They are very deep and dark and watery. It's almost like...
Is that what they look like when you own a adrenochrome?
Or you worship one side of the aisle that is a slippery slope.
Like you think your eyes bug out on that?
Remember our conversation of selling a certain part of you to a certain entity?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well...
Oh, and then you just like lose your soul.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, he got all. I mean, or he was, since he's probably really goody friends with all the lefty Congress people. They probably have him in there before the show to like use the free bar and get him trashed. So it's either super drunk eyes or there's a little something stirring around in his soul and body.
Well, that's what I would do if I was a bad guy. I'd get him drunk so it lowers his vibration, and then demons can inhabit him more.
Yeah. I've not like there's.
That's only if I was a hardcore bad guy.
Yeah, when you pay attention to the eyes in a person, and you've seen a couple like, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you go see his eyes in that certain moment. He gets all up in the camera's face. It's like, dang, Colbert, you yeah, what's got you so hinged by the shoulders? What's got you on your back, piggybacking around, weighing you down?
Scott Pressler was trying to bring some awareness to all of us folks here. So if Wisconsin doesn't elect conservative Brad Schimmel on April 1st, the liberal court will redraw congressional maps. Republicans will lose at least 2 seats going into 26. If you care, get out there and vote. Damn. So what happened?
Come on, Wisconsinites. Don't keep vote. Like right now, who they haven't is been trying to reverse Wisconsin from the greatness that it's been.
So like what's it called? Like just election? Why doesn't it show me search results? My vote Wisconsin. Spring.
And for anybody voting for the Illinois stuff, I don't even remember her name, but I seen her interview compared to the other guy, and it sucks. I don't even remember his name, but the dude made a whole lot more sense in talking facts. She tried doing the emotional tug strings interview, like, oh, I've already done all this work, but it's not complete. So like, you have to vote me in so I can finish the work. Oh, wait, what does that smell like? Oh, that smells like California spending billions of dollars and like, yo, I'm just still working on this project. Like, we got to keep going. Like, how about where's the freaking results, man? You spend all this money of ours and then there's no results and you had time, but you didn't get it done. And so what then the guy comes on and talks about is, yo, that's already in like motion. It's still set to be a thing whether she's in there or not. It has to get done. So it doesn't matter if she's in office or not. So she was literally up there. Yeah, he literally just called it out right there after the fact. She was just saying that to pull at your emotional heartstrings to get her voted in again. Which, what does that tell you? She's not talking about new things she's doing. She is holding to the past of, no, I've been having such a good time, like skimming a little of your money off the top and making myself like richer and buying nice things. Come on, keep letting me do it. Like, no, he wants to actually do good stuff for the community. He's about getting things done.
Why is this impossible to find these results? This is from this morning. What?
Grok it. When in doubt, grok it out.
Rock it out.
When in doubt, grok it out.
Wisconsin spring election results for today.
What is a Fraggle apple?
The heck is a Fraggle apple? Frapple? Frapple apple. I mean,
Yeah,
Frapple is for
yeah,
apple.
Yeah, you came a little late, Nil Tamir. It was he was wilding in the chat, spewing a whole bunch of hot garbage.
Looks like the troll shit's all over tonight.
Yeah, he was just making more threats and trying to spread more lies.
He was kind of okay there for a sec because he brought up like, Elon man bad, and what about the signal leak? So it was like, oh, those must be the hive mind
Yeah.
downloads. But then he
you
was
gotta-
getting lazy and just,
you gotta love
talking
it. Like,
silly shit
have
again.
you noticed every time he's like, look up thing, and if we don't look it up in the next 1 minute, literal 60 seconds, you guys are avoiding it, this and that. Like, you're like a child. You're a literal man child. Like, I didn't get the ice cream I wanted now. And like, dude, we'll get to it. We have to literally drive to the freaking McDonald's first, kid. No, I have to have it now.
I'm stupid. It was
I
April.
can't teleport you there, kid. Like, you gotta wait a minute. This is what happens when I don't even know. Like, I
Are you
mean,
practicing this like little kid impersonation? Oh, it's tomorrow, so I'm stupid. I keep thinking today's the 1st, but it's tomorrow. So Brock was like, "You're dumb." Since today's not April 1st. Perhaps. I froze up. I froze up. Can you vote past April 1st? No, you can't. That's why it said April 1st is the voting day. Oh, Lord. Doing that thing where it gives us too much shit. That's why I asked if there was early. Yeah, isn't it jacked up that like all elections are more legitimate official than the most important one?
why it's important to go out and vote, do your research on your local officials, get good people in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then maybe you go do it if like you can. Need more good officials, peoples.
I gotta try to add that into the. Well, at least I'll be by a voting. Oh, I guess I have to vote. Do I have to vote at the station that's by my place, or can I vote anywhere in town?
Early voting for the April 1st election wrapped up yesterday, March 30th, with both in-person absentee voting and mail-in ballot tracked by groups like Civic API here on X. Here's the latest snapshot from March 31st. This is what we were looking for. Oh, but no, yeah, we just have the ballots. We don't know what they are yet. We didn't like look at it.
Oh wow!
It's a
look at-
Supreme Court race between Susan Crawford and Brad Schimmel.
Hey, you notice that?
Schimmel?
This shows over 644,800 early votes are already locked in. A big jump from the 475,000 reported by the Associated Press on. Oh wait,
March 27th.
I thought it was talking about like prior year. Wait,
This one is, but 200. So that's like more than double. So it's like triple than the last one in 2023 spring.
I would like to say that's almost like possible, of those people getting them social security numbers that are just all of a sudden now.
You know, we're always gonna be thinking there's some kind of a conspiracy afoot here.
Well, maths, like, are those just people leaving Illinois going to Wisconsin because Illinois sucks, Or is it people getting flown and bussed up by our taxpayer dollars from the southern border?
They're giving them credit cards, I hear. People tell me they're getting credit cards with taxpayer money on them. I don't know why, folks.
I hear they have Medicaid, even though I have been denied Medicaid in the past. Oh, where's my Medicaid, huh?
Shady business.
That's right. I don't need it because I just eat healthy and I work out and my cells are just strong. Other than Lou Gehrig's, but you know.
My body hurts from working out yesterday.
You know how you
My back's like hella sore.
you know how you fix that?
More stretching.
Some more working out.
More working out. That's all I got for y'all, folks. Any last minuters in the chat? Drop it. Drop it like it's hot. But otherwise,
Drop it like it's hot.
that's all I
like
got,
it's
folks. Thanks for showing up. Thanks for coming on in here, Niltamir, Wilkins, Sane. Thank you very much, Mr. Thorny Velcro. That sounds a little bit painful. Hopefully it's not around like your foot or your wrist or something.
Or in your underpants.
Dang, bro, you put Velcro in your underpants? It sounds like a bad idea.
Gotta contain the goods, you know.
If you put Velcro in your underpants, you're going to have a bad
You're
time.
gonna have a bad time.
How else do you get the cup to stay still?
I can't think of I'm trying to think of what they're called. All I could think of was elastic straps, but I feel like that is not right. Just the bungee material.
Socks? Okay. Yeah, but thorny Velcro socks would be painful too.
That's right. I got a little bit more than 40 ounces, so I don't want to hear that you didn't drink 40 ounces before the end of the night, Wilkinson. That is only a little bit more than 1 liter. And you know how I couldn't before, but as with everything, you just keep doing it, you get it gets more used to it. I basically, every time I crack this lid, I pretty much chug half of this. I could chug one of these in one sitting if I wanted to, if it gets to the end of the night, and just get it over with. And so far, I haven't drowned, so that's a plus.
Yeah, you're going to be fine.
Yep.
It's like drinking a gallon in one sitting, bro.
Wait, what? Huh?
The woman that died, it was like a gallon of water, and it was like one whole sitting.
Oh, yeah. No, I ain't gonna ever chug 1 gallon in one sitting. That just, I don't know what will get into your brain to do that. I mean, maybe a double dog dare, but like.
Money, Dan. Money makes people do crazy shit. I hear what happened was somebody double dog, triple dog dared her with dollar bills waving around in her face, and she started taking her blouse off, and they said, "No, honey, no. All we need you to do is actually drink the water. We don't need a show. We just were looking to see if you would drink all this water for the money. It's all right." And then she did, Dan, and she died. It was not good. It was not a good look. And then suddenly the gentleman with the money said, maybe we should have taken the show instead.
I was going to say, you should have let her continue the show. Now she can't show
now
anymore.
We killed a woman, and now if we get a show, it's necrophilia, and that's not good. People tell me it's not a good look. It's not recommended, folks. It's not good.
Yeah.
Fannie Willis tried to get me for necrophilia, and I told her it was fake news. Not true. Now, I know E. Jean Carroll looks like she's dead, but she's not dead, folks. She's actually still alive and a big bitch. Like, she's still being a total bitch, alive, well and alive, even though people tell me she looks kind of, sort of maybe like she might be necrophiliac dead, but, kind of like Rosie O'Donnell, folks. Rosie was in the news, and she looks very old, like she may be necrophiliac old as well, but,
Hey, you know what? That makes one person's job easy in the end. You know whose job that is?
Death, Dan. Death's job's easy.
No, the guy that's got to prepare in the casket. He doesn't, if she already looks like she's dead, he ain't really got to do much.
You're supposed to make him
job
look
for
alive.
him. Well, I mean, she was alive. That's
Dan,
how,
you
that's
might
how,
be
that's how people know how she looks. You know, I mean,
Dan may be the worst mortician ever. I showed up to go see my friend Bob, who died, and Dan was his mortician. I opened the casket and said, "What the hell, Dan?
hey, if you make
Bob looks dead." And he was like, "He's dead, so he should look dead."
well, if you make him look alive, people might they might try some things, like hoping he is still alive and doing like, no, please don't touch the body. No, that's just disrespectful. I know he looks alive, but you don't want to try to bring him back to life because he's dead, even though he looks like he's alive and he's doing great. But please don't touch the body. It's bad.
That was the day that the mortician's office manager fired Autistic Dan. They said, "You are way too literal to work here. You are not doing it correctly.
You are too autistic to work here,
You
kid.
are too literal, Dan. You're supposed to make them look like they are not dead."
Would I be a better mortician or taxidermist?
I don't think I want my taxidermy to look dead either. I don't think you'd be good at either of these. What?
You get what I'm putting down, yeah?
What I think you'd be good at is working at a haunted house. That would be a great job for you, Dan. I would hire you at the haunted house to make things look dead. That's what I would.
The Walking Dead makeup guy.
Maybe
For
on the
zombies.
Walking Dead
Yeah.
set, yes.
Yeah.
I had a friend that produced that show. Great friend, great person.
Yeah.
I know a lot of friends in the biz. Then they all went woke. I have no more friends in the biz. It's weird.
Yeah, it's almost like they went Walking Dead.
Oh, zinger.
Good. Here for the dad jokes.
Thank you very much, folks. Thank you so much for hanging on out. If you made it this far, make sure you got a Rumble account like that Thorny Velcro, like that Wilkins saying the Nil Tamir. Make sure you drop a thumbs up on the video. Hit the
Heck yeah.
follow button.
If you ain't following, follow it. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. And most importantly, don't be a hoe. Just share that show.
Share that show, folks.
Sharing is caring.
Yep.
Even
share
though
that
I've
out.
heard that was possibly some woke stuff and now hits a little different nowadays. But we know the real meaning of it, and it is for the good.
Everything goes woke. When you get woke, you go broke. But that's all right, folks. You can come back next week where we will still not be broke.
Nope. But who knows? Maybe the troll will still be trolling.
The troll will still be woke.
We
that's
will
for
learn
sure.
more things about him and his mother.
You know, if he's not careful, pretty soon we'll have to make him pay the troll toll.
Ooh, what is the troll toll?
It's money, Dan. The effing money. He pays us money to come and talk shit because I am not a free therapist. I would like to actually be able to get paid for my work, and when he comes here and he verbally dumps his thoughts and his feelings, it makes me feel kind of sort of like a therapist, Dan. You know, it makes me kind of feel like I should be charging a troll toll.
Yeah, getting paid for.
Maybe you might
this
say
work.
a troll tariff. I don't know.
Oh, I like that. A troll tariff. Heck yeah.
So thank you very much, folks. Y'all have a great day, and we will see you all later. Because we got a 2, we got a 1, and we do still have the all right.
All right.
Oh.